Welcome to Laxer Live. This is Laxer Live with me, Dan Laxer, on CJAD in Montreal. It is 2:08 with 16 degrees downtown. Somebody broke the internet. And coming up a little bit later on, your kid might be a psychopath. I have the signs. Homework or no homework? How much homework do your kids get each day? How much do they do each night? And do you think it's helping? And I want to know, well, at this stage, can Americans make room? I mean, Terry Jones didn't do his book burning, but others did. Can Americans make room for the so-called Ground Zero Mosque? But right now, I have a guest in studio who I've been referring to as a crazy man. Michael Lifshitz is here. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Dan. Thank you.
I don't know how long we've known each other. Less than a year.
Yep.
But you're an accountant?
Yes.
A comedian?
Yes.
You're disabled?
I am.
And you're going to rappel down the side of a building.
Right.
Why are you going? Now, we're going to talk about all of the things you do, but why are you going to rappel down the side of a building?
Because the stairs were too difficult. No,
Stop that.
I'm rappelling down. It's part of the Drop Zone Challenge, which is a fundraiser that is done. This is the 6th year they're doing it in Montreal. It's a fundraiser for Easter Seals that actually is done across Canada. So the Montreal event is taking place September 22nd at the CIBC building on 1010 Sherbrooke.
Oh, yeah, I know the building.
Yeah, right on Sherbrooke and Mansfield.
Will you be on the front or on the side?
We go down the front, so on Sherbrooke.
Yeah.
So it's actually the 2nd year I'm doing it. I will preface this. They asked me to always put the disclaimer.
Yeah.
I was disabled before doing it. So it wasn't a result of the drop zone. But yeah, last year I actually did it without a wheelchair. I actually tried to do it myself. And what we learned from that was that rappelling down a building with one good leg is a little bit like rowing a boat with one oar. You kind of start twisting after a while. So I kind of decided this year I'll do it with a wheelchair. But yeah, so basically the reason to do it is you raise a minimum of $1,500. Mm-hmm. And basically $1,500 sends one child with a disability to a special camp. So the camp is adapted for children with special needs.
Okay.
And that way they have the opportunity to experience a summer camp, and also parents have the opportunity to have a small break, because obviously taking care of a child with special needs can be a little bit more demanding and stressful. So it gives them a little bit of a break, and the child has a chance to basically be a kid and enjoy summer camp.
Can't you sell chocolate bars or something?
Yeah, but where would the challenge be in that? Everybody does that. I know one of my friends told me, Mike, I usually just buy the little stamps they put out. But if you want to go down a building, by all means. Honestly, the big reason I had done it when I heard about it, a friend of mine, I had met her at a networking event, and she was involved with it and asked me if I'd like to do it. And I'm very big, which we'll talk about more later, on showing what people with disabilities can do. And I thought, what better way than rappelling down a 380-foot building?
Now, as you say, I'm speaking with Michael Lifshitz, who's an accountant, a comedian, and he's going to rappel down the side of a building in his wheelchair. And yeah, you've done this before. I saw a video on your website of you rappelling without the wheelchair. Is this the chair you're going to be using?
It's not, because the electric wheelchair is 250 pounds.
I was just going to say.
And I think at that point, gravity kicks in.
Yeah.
So probably a bad idea. I'm not sure the ropes could withstand that.
Okay.
So I actually will be using a manual wheelchair to go down the wall. So basically, the way we did it last year is I kind of drove the wheelchair up to the 26th floor, and then someone brought it down for me. And last year I just walked out onto the roof of the building. This year I'll probably walk off and then just come down in the wheelchair.
Okay, so how would they would have to secure you somehow to the wheelchair?
What someone told me was, because there is someone who's done it, I think since the beginning, who also has disability as well. I know his first name is Jonathan. I believe his family name is Plant.
Okay.
And if he's listening, I apologize if I got his family name wrong. But he actually is in a wheelchair. Does have a disability, and he is in a wheelchair, and he does come down in a manual chair. Mm-hmm. And I believe what they do is they kind of tape you into the chair, so you're attached to the chair, and then you're obviously hooked up to the regular harness and device to be able to kind of rappel yourself down. So just a note for people in 1010 Sherbrooke, if you see people in wheelchairs strapped in and being thrown off the building, it's a fundraiser. Do not be alarmed. Everything's under control.
But they aren't going to throw you. You'll be attached to a rope and pulley and harness.
So I'm told.
Now, I've seen you get up on a stage a couple of times and do comedy, which, as I've done as well, is scary. But again, we're talking about you rappelling down the side of a building. When you did it last year, was that your first time?
Yep.
Were you scared?
Yeah, because actually people go, well, I can never do it. I'm afraid of heights. Here's the thing. I actually am afraid of heights.
Yeah.
So I was a little nervous as I got to the building. When I was on top, I think my scariest moment was when I'm standing on the edge of the building and they're like, okay, just lean back and the rope is going to hold you. And,
no.
I don't think I'm allowed to say my actual thought on radio. But I'll admit I had thought a little bit about backing out, and I'm like, okay, no, I collected the money. I said I'm going to do it. Going down, I was not as scared as until I saw the video of it that night. And again, I don't think I can say my reaction to the video on radio, but I do. I was very proud of having accomplished it. I think it's a great way to overcome your fear of heights.
Well, I got to take a quick break for traffic, but before we go, being on the sidewalk afterward and looking up and even seeing the video, and then the drop zone challenge coming up again this year, did you have second thoughts about doing it again?
Not really. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a challenge. I figure, you know what, disabilities are not enough challenges. Let's conquer others. If I can go up 3 flights of stairs to perform comedy, I can rappel down the side of a building. Fair
enough. We'll talk a little bit more about that. It's 2:15 CJAD time. Laxer Live with me, Dan Laxer, and my guest in studio, Michael Lifshitz, who, among other things that he does, he'll be rappelling down the side of a building in a wheelchair. It's 2:15.